So you want to know why stuff doesn't get done? I'm driving home right now. I'm on Ina, coming up on Oracle, and just looking out over the city landscape. You know, I'm just looking out. You know, I love the view from up here on Ina. You know, even during the day, I know there are people that just can't stand seeing the houses, you know, move up to the hillside. I love that. I really do. It reminds me of, well, I always liked apartment living. I know that sounds really strange. I'm fairly antisocial outside the radio station. I had friends growing up, and I have friends now, but I was never one of those guys that ran in a big group of people. But I liked being part of a community, and I just like that apartment feel of having people around. And you know, here in Tucson, we've done a really good job when it comes to blending in the homes to the surrounding landscape. And I know there are segments of the community that just can't abide by it, that don't want to see the land untouched. But I like seeing that. I like seeing the houses moving up to the hillside and how they blend in. It just, you know, we're a society and we're a community, and I like what we've done in terms of our architecture and the vibe of Tucson. But getting back to my point, you know, talking about the issues, city council, budget, police, fire, funding, Suntran, and all the things that we talk about on a daily basis. TUSD, ethnic studies, why we have such a low voter turnout. And what's interesting is that I just was thinking about this in the drive home. And why is it that we get so little accomplished? Why is it that we have a certain segment of people that seem to have the most influence over city council members, or such a low voting segment of the public? And it's because just not a lot of people are paying attention. And to be honest with you, I can't really begrudge them of that. I mean, it's the freedom that we have in this country. It's the freedom to be involved, and it's the freedom to not be involved. And if you feel like your life isn't affected one way or another, if we lose more police officers or close down more fire stations, then I can understand why you could care less about what goes on in the city budget, who we elect, and why you're not involved in politics. Now, I think it's unfortunate, but I can't begrudge anybody for that. Now, I would hope that those individuals that don't get involved, if they're in a situation where they need the help of police and fire, they'll understand fully that part of the reason is because of the fact that they haven't been involved. But, you know, not everybody listens to talk radio. Not everybody watches the news. And not the majority, obviously, because I think you have a lot of people that obviously register to vote because it's the thing to do, right? You got to get registered to vote. It's kind of an automatic. But then those people just don't get out and get involved because they're living their daily lives. I mean, a lot of us, and those that are watching this who listen to talk radio, you certainly aren't like that anymore. But, I mean, if you're like me, I didn't get really involved in politics at an early age. I didn't pay attention to the campaign signs on the side of the road. It's what popped into my head. I was looking at the surrounding landscape and, you know, the size of Tucson and why it is the way that it is. And I think it's because a lot of people just go, they like their lives the way they are and don't really give a rip about politics. I really wish more people did. I'm not going to say that I don't. Personally, I feel like we would all be in a better position if we had 100% of the people that were registered to vote that were out voting, but it's just not the case, and that'll never be the case. We need to make sure that we do what we can to hopefully get more people involved and encourage them to do so, but also understand that some people just aren't, and they're happy living their lives. It is what it is. That's what popped into my head. I know it may sound really random. Most of these webisodes probably do. But I love Tucson for what it is. I love Tucson for what it can be, but it is what it is. And you've got to face the reality that you got to continue fighting the fight that you think you can win that's worth fighting. But at the end of the day, you got to realize that a lot of those battles are going to be really tough, because a lot of times you're just not going to have the numbers involved to you know, push forward the issues that you're concerned about. So on top of all that, I've got this stupid lip that's been bugging me all morning. Literally, my lip has been bleeding all day today. It's unbelievable. It's really gross, actually. I get cold sores. I have since I was a kid. I know it's gross, but I do. And for those that have to deal with that, there's never a good way to deal with a cold sore. You know, you leave them alone. You try to, you still end up getting a scar and that. So I had one a couple of weeks ago, and then I went away, and then this morning I nicked myself with a razor right on my lip. And because of my blood thinners, my lip has just not stopped, just barely, just all morning long. I made a comment to producer Josh this morning. I said, how many pints of blood, I wonder how many pints of blood that I've lost from my lip bleeding this morning. And he just looked at me and goes, none. And when I was doing a joke. Hasn't been that much. He's the unfortunate guy that had to look at me do most of the show today with a piece of tissue stuck to my lip, like one would have stuck to their face when they cut themselves shaving. There you go. All right, again, too much information for this webisode. I hope you enjoyed it. You get double of them. For some reason, the Wednesday webisode didn't load, so you're going to get 2 today. So there you go. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.